Chef Michael from Doctoronamission.com. How are you on this beautiful day, evening, whatever time of day it is where you might be in the world? Hey, thanks for joining me today on my session of Reclaim Your Kitchen. I'm Chef Michael along with my beautiful wife, Dr. Isabel. We make up the team of Doctor on a Mission. And my part here at Doctor on a Mission is, well, what we do at Doctor on a Mission is to help you to live a long, happy, vibrant life without chronic disease. Live to 100 years young if that's how long you want to go, because we can if we just, have a healthy lifestyle. And so today I'm going to be talking about making beautiful, yummy aioli. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard of aioli. Maybe you do, maybe you haven't. We're going to talk a little bit about aioli and the difference between aioli and mayonnaise. So a couple different segments we're going to be talking about. And I want to thank you for being here. If you happen to catch us on the replay, that's awesome. Feel free to share us out to friends and family if you feel that this is of great value to them. My purpose here in Reclaim Your Kitchen is to help you crazy busy people throughout the world, because we all seem to be crazy busy, is to reclaim your kitchen back from the food industry. Be able to cook healthy, inexpensive, quick, beautiful looking food at home. And that's my purpose, because we can do that. We probably just need a few more tips and tricks. And the way I'm able to do it, I was an executive chef. I'm still a chef in the restaurant hospitality industry for 20 years. I don't do it out in the commercial world anymore. I'm here for you guys. And I graduated from the California Culinary Academy in San Francisco. And I did that for 20 years. And my other great claim to fame is being an at-home dad. And that's where I learned to cook, being a crazy, busy person, because I was a crazy, busy parent. Two beautiful daughters, 2 in diapers at a young age. They're about less than 24 months apart. So I had to learn to not just take my chefing skills, but learn how to create efficiently and effectively in the kitchen some healthy food for my kids. And also to learn how to do it quick, simple, make it look good, make it be tasty. And I'm going to pass some of that on to you guys. So today, we're going to be talking about aioli. So let's get started. Now, my first disclaimer is there is a basic recipe. All right, I'll talk about the basic recipe, but I'm going to play with it today, because one thing I want you guys to always be is empowered to play in the kitchen. I think, it's called the culinary arts. Here in the kitchen, it's fun to use different flavors, different spices. Be your own. So there is a basic recipe. I'm going to do a couple little twists on it today. You might say, "Oh my gosh, I would never put that in mine." I don't. You know what? I'm just going to work on some flavors that works well for us. But again, I'll give you the basic recipe. And so once we get it started, then I'll take a little break and we'll talk a little bit more about aioli and mayonnaise and the differences and what you might want to use and what not use. Personally, I try as much as possible to make my own stuff here at home, because I can actually see what's going in it. When I buy it, I don't know if you've noticed how many ingredients. I mean, it's really interesting when you're out there shopping and you buy something. Take a look at the ingredients and just how many is on there. And, understanding the fact that if you probably can't pronounce it or it's got a number, it's I would say 99% chance it's not good for you. That's just the bottom line. So if I can make stuff at home and I can see what's going in and I can actually pronounce the ingredients and it doesn't have a number, and I might say like 6 eggs, but I know the ingredient is eggs, I figure at least I've got a better chance of putting healthy stuff into me, okay? You follow me on that? All right, so let's talk. Let's talk aioli. Now, the very basic aioli ingredients would be egg yolks, probably some garlic, depending on how much garlic you want, some lemon juice. You could use lime, but traditionally lemon juice, and extra virgin olive oil. So, and a little pinch of salt and pepper. So, bottom line, basic ingredients: egg yolks, garlic, lemon juice, pinch of salt and pepper, and extra virgin olive oil. Now, today, what I'm going to do, let's get started. Make it into a food processor. Again, you could do it by hand if you want to, go at it and, you know, old-fashioned style whip, 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 it'd be a little bit longer, but I'm just going to use a food processor because, hey, I got one. Why not? So today's recipe, I'm using 6 egg yolks. This is going to make probably, my estimate, this will make around 2 to 3 cups. I don't have it measured out exactly, but it'll make about 2 to 3 cups of aioli. Okay, so 6 egg yolks. Now, I like Dijon mustard. It gives it a little kind of oomph. So I'm going to put some 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard in. I'm also going to put a pinch of black pepper in, pinch of salt, and then I'm going to put in the juice. I'm just going to have a little bit of lemon juice. So this is the juice of a half a lemon because this was really a big lemon. So it's a juice of a half a lemon. Okay. Now the other ingredients is I've got garlic cloves. I've got 3 garlic cloves ready to go. I'm also doing, I know I'm going to say it. I'm doing anchovies. I know. Anchovies is one of those things where people either you love them or ugh. I happen to love anchovies. They're a great source of protein. So I've got 4 anchovies. I'm also doing some green onions, scallions, however you want to say it, spring onions. I've got 1 spring onion chopped up. So I'm going to do a little spring onion. And then I've got a very small hot red chili, and I'm just about a half of a red chili because I'm going to give it a little more spice to it. I just kind of love that stuff. So some garlic, some green onion, a half a red chili, a little spicy chili, and some anchovies. That's going to be my flavoring, okay? Now, you might do a little something different than that. You probably would do something different, or maybe not. You might say, hey, you know what? That sounds fantastic. Well, there you go. So we're just going to put the lid on that, and then just give me about 30 seconds of that just to kind of grind that all up, okay? So hang in there. You just want to get all those ingredients ground up together, and then we're going to let that rest, and then we're going to be adding our extra virgin olive oil, okay? So hang in there. Okay, that's good enough. So we've, about 30 seconds to a minute. Just let everything grind up, whatever your flavorings are. Just get that going. Now, the only thing left to do then is to drizzle in the olive oil, the extra virgin olive oil. And that's going to be really, and you want to do it, drizzle it in nice and slow. If you just dump it in too fast, it'll just kind of go and fall apart. You want to put it in nice and slow. Did you like that sound effect? You know, I think I learned that when I was about 2, and I still have it. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. But when you drizzle it in nice and slow, what you can do then is you can take it to a thickness you want. Understand that when you put it in the refrigerator to store it, is going to get slightly thicker because of the olive oil. But depending on what you're using it for, I love aioli for so many different things. One of the things I love to do is use it as a dip for vegetables. You can put it in the middle of a tray of a bunch of chopped vegetables. I find even, I used to do that when my daughters had teenage friends over, and it'd be amazing to see a bunch of teenagers around a whole big pile of veggies, eating a bunch of veggies because they could dip it in the aioli and they would just love it. My oldest daughter, had a friend who just loved aioli, and when they were coming over, they'd say, "Hey, is Michael making aioli?" Be like, "Yep. Okay, good, we're coming over." Otherwise, I'm not sure if they were. Yeah, I guess they were coming over, but I always had aioli for them because they loved it. So what a great way to get your kids to eat vegetables, aioli. What you could do if you make it a little bit thinner, you could use it as a salad dressing. Put it on some of your salad greens, toss it. I love it over fish. I love it over chicken. You could, if you're a beef eater, lamb, whatever, you could put it over. But pretty much over any protein, it's just beautiful to accompany with it. So depending on the thickness you want, that's how much you just keep drizzling in your olive oil to get thicker and thicker. And then it gets to a point where you can hear your machine start to grind a little bit. And that means it's just getting really thick. Stop, because you can go over, and then it will kind of come apart. Okay? So before we start doing that, the one thing I wanted to mention is, okay, so aioli mayonnaise, what's the big deal? What's the difference? Well, understand classically, A mayonnaise is pretty much the same type of recipe. It's the eggs, lemon juice, sometimes with some vinegar, salt and pepper. But the oil is in mayonnaise is like a canola oil or a corn oil. You'll see mayonnaise is always white, and that's because it's got that canola oil or corn oil. Personally, we don't promote those types of oils here at Doctoronamission. They're not the good fats for you. You want to really kind of limit those types of fats that are in that canola oil and corn oil. The great thing about aioli, a real true traditional aioli is made with extra virgin olive oil. You'll notice there'll be a yellowish tint to it whenever you have a real aioli. So if you're out at a restaurant or something and they say it's an aioli and it's just pure white, almost transparent, it probably isn't a real aioli. It's more like a flavored mayonnaise. All right, so a little tip there for you. So yeah, anyway, depending on what you like. But we personally like aioli made with extra virgin olive oil, much healthier fat, better fat for you. And if you can make it at home, hey, fantastic. All right. Not to say we don't ever use a mayonnaise. Sometimes we do, but we keep that on the down low, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so there you go. Now let's get into finishing this off. I'm going to have to be grinding away here for a minute or so, so just hang in there with me while we do it, and then it'll be done, and we'll check it out, and I know you guys are going to love this. Okay, here we go. So you want to drizzle it in nice and slow. I had 6 egg yolks, plus the ingredients. I'm going to probably use about 1.5 cups of extra virgin olive oil to bring this together. So I can see in there it's starting to come together. Drizzling it in nice and slow. You'll start to hear your machine working a little bit stronger because it's really starting to thicken up. Almost there. Oh yeah. There you can really hear it start to thicken. Okay. You could really, as the machine was going on, I don't know if you noticed, but you could start, there was a certain point all of a sudden you could hear the hum of the machine start to change a little bit, just start to get a little stronger where it had to work harder because it was getting thicker. That's when you know you're really getting to where you want. Oh, that looks beautiful. Now, I'm just going to dig in there and just show you guys what you end up with. Look at that beautiful aioli. Sorry, it's going all over my hands. I'm going to have a little taste. Excuse me while I do not waste that. Yes, I did use my fingers, but I had washed my hands before we started. Okay, cool. That's come out beautiful. That it will thicken up as you put it in the refrigerator. So what I like to do is I'll get it to a point where it's just, as you saw, just kind of running off the spoon a little bit, but by the time it cools down, it'll get nice and firm. And man, that's going to make an amazing dip for some veggies. I think I'm actually going to make a big tray of chopped vegetables and put that sauce in the middle so we're just constantly have it ready. Because I find if I make a big tray of vegetables ready to go, chopped up, prepped, ready to go, all kinds of veggies, with a bowl of that in the middle and just keep that in the refrigerator, when people come home, you know how you come home and you're just hungry and you're looking for stuff? Well, if that's sitting there and I see that, and pretty much, you know, all of our family and friends when they come over, if I want to offer them something and they see that and I put that out there, they're not grabbing a can, they're not grabbing a sachet, they're not grabbing a package of chips or I don't know, whatever other kind of junk and eating it because they go, oh, wow, that looks amazing. All of a sudden, vegetables look incredible, tasting it, beautiful. There you go, aioli, make it with your extra virgin olive oil. The basic recipe, again, the basic recipe is egg yolks, garlic, lemon juice, salt and pepper, drizzle in some extra virgin olive oil, nice and slow, get it to the consistency you want. Today, I switched it up a little bit with what I did was I did a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 3 garlic cloves, a couple tablespoons of chopped scallions or green onions, however you want to call it, or spring onion, and 4 anchovy fillets, however you say those, and a half of a hot red chili and a pinch of salt and pepper. That gave it a really cool flavor. I enjoy that a lot. Guys, I am hungry. I'm going to chop some vegetables. I'm going to dip some aioli. It is lunchtime here in the kitchen. Hey, it's been Chef Michael here. Reclaim your kitchen from Doctor on a Mission.